Hey there everyone, I'm Dresden and welcome back to another episode of Downhill Madness. This episode is being released on Memorial Day. Memorial Day, yeah. So we're going to start off with a American muscle car. Sorta. This is the Gavril Vertex NA2 American Muscle is the name of this. And it's got a big old engine, it's got the dice, it's got everything you need for an American muscle car. The next two vehicles won't be American vehicles, but I figured we'd start off with something American for the first one because, of course, Memorial Day. So let's go ahead and actually change the time before I start because I always forget to do that. Okay, afternoon. Now we can go because it looks a lot better now. And wowee, is this thing powerful. And quite fun to drive. I would say it's pretty fun to drive on the dirt. I don't know about this Baja course, how the Baja is going to treat it. But normally, I do feel like this is a pretty fun little vehicle here. Oh, okay. Watch the bumps. Watch the bumps. The bumps are a little hard, a little harsh at times. Okay. And we are perfectly perfect. So, happy Memorial Day, everyone. And happy Downhill Madness episode 38, I do believe. We're getting close to 40, which is pretty cool. We've been doing this for a while, every single week, every Monday, in fact. For the past 38 weeks, that's a lot of weeks. And I'm still obviously not good at driving down the track. Okay, well, engine damage, that makes sense. Radiator leaking makes sense. Our steering looks like it is trying to go to the right while it's steering straight. Makes sense. We did a pretty big roll there. I don't want to run this again, though, because I don't want to drive it again down here. Because it's fun off-road, but I was right about this in the beginning. The Baja is not exactly where it's at, you know? It's not exactly great at the Baja. Our radiator is damaged, it is leaking, and we are smoking. That can be a problem because we've got our giant supercharged, like V8 in this thing. Probably producing a lot of power, well, obviously producing a lot of power, but probably producing a butt ton of heat. Not what we want when our radiator's dead. So we're going to have to take it a little carefully, kind of coast when we can. Because even though the temperature is not climbing now, it won't give me a notification anymore when we damage the radiator more. It'll just start getting hot all of a sudden. And we don't want that. We don't want to have to deal with that, so we are not going to. Whoa. Okay, that was okay. Anyway, yeah. Going pretty well, though. Getting close to the bottom. We'll probably make it on the first attempt, I do hope. Uh-oh, there's an edge there. Engine starved of oil. Now, that's not a bad thing. If you stay off the wheels when you're wrecking, that'd be good. Okay. So. Sounds a little worse now. That was probably really bad for the radiator. Now we're going to be gone. That back right wheel looks absolutely terrible. And it's actually generally hard to keep in a straight line at this point because it is not doing too hot. Actually, it is doing hot. It's very hot. The engine is heating up. But that turn there was the fast, scary turn, not the fast one. The scary turn, and we did make it. So I do believe that we will be okay here if we just make this nicely, which it looks like we will. And we made it on the first attempt of the Gavril Vertex NA2 American Muscle. And we want to toggle fog lights, apparently. That's good stuff. Yeah, so that rear right wheel's bad. Front right wheel's bad. Front left wheel's not awful. Back left wheel isn't terrible. The rest of the vehicle's pretty broken to bits. Definitely That rollover, kind of near the beginning, definitely did a whole lot to this vehicle. Because I don't think I could normally keep it in a straight line, but now it definitely won't. Like, that was just, if you look at the bottom, if you rewind and look at the bottom, I did not steer there. It did that all on its own. It likes to pull to the right, left, really, really bad. Okay, okay, okay. And into the wall. Oh, oh. 2 walls. Well, we're still driving. We're still alive somehow. It's actually pretty impressive that we're still alive. So we did a lot of damage to our car there. Chassis is absolutely just destroyed. Alright. Oh, that front wheel's not looking too good either. Nah. Alright, on to the next vehicle for this episode. Let's see how it does. Alright, and next up we have this. The Kia Stinger 2.0T AT 4-wheel drive Prestige. Guessing Prestige is just the trim level. Everything else is kind of engine stuff. Pretty cool. Real life car mod, of course. It's not in the base game, but it seems to be pretty good from what I can see anyway. So yeah, 4-wheel drive Kia Stinger. See how it goes. I don't know if they're all 4-wheel drive or not. I guess we'll find out later, because of course we are, as we have been, going to run 2 of these down the course today to see how they do. We're going to run a more base model and then a more expensive kind of tuned model, you may say. Just to see how they do, because it's always fun to run the car mods and base game vehicles. I'm kind of running out of them. In fact, the Gavril Vertex at the beginning is also a mod. We aren't going to run a single base game vehicle in this episode, and that's okay, because the mods are cool. And base game vehicles are also cool, but I've ran so many, you gotta branch out, you know? So, Kia Stinger, pretty cool. I remember when they released these, and my dad really wanted one. He wanted, I think, a white one with black accents. So like one of these versions, but white, pretty much. I always thought they were cool. They're cool little 4-door sedans, 4-wheel drive. They kind of are competitors to the Subaru WRX, and they're pretty cool. I'm sure they're a competitor to some sort of Audi as well, because it's just kind of the same shape as like an Audi RS6 or something, except that's more of a wagon, but you know what I mean. But it's also a performance vehicle, which is where it could line up with the WRX. Pretty cool. Not that bad of this course either. I get that this is the base model, not the base model per se, but a more base model, more mainline kind of sales model. And it feels pretty nice to drive down here. It feels like it's well tuned for this terrain, which is interesting that it feels like it's well tuned for this terrain, but it truly does. Which I am actually glad about, because I didn't feel like driving a vehicle down here like the last one. That would just be terrible. It does feel like something's wrong in the suspension now, though. It's a little bit hard to steer, a little bit hard to keep under control. Oh, big bump, big bump, big bump. Okay, okay. Hit gas. We're good. Yeah, it's quite tasking, quite difficult to keep under control. Back end seems absurdly light, and especially as we get further down and get the bigger bumps, the back end feels very light, as you can see. Very light means easily spin outable, because that's a word, so definitely. Anyway, yeah, seems like it's pretty easy to spin out, and you know, that's okay. It's alright that it's easy to spin out, but it did handle that pretty well. I will give it that. Probably a pretty decent time. Not the best time, not the worst time. That's what I'm expecting from this. Why were our hazards on? Okay. So damage report, lost the front bumper, cracked the windscreen, back bumper's kind of coming off. How's the back window? Looks fine. Overall, it doesn't seem that bad. I'm sure there's a whole lot of internal damage, but the exterior of the vehicle does not seem that bad. It is pulling to the left very, very little, very slightly. Well, there goes the exterior more. That taillight still works, actually. But I bet the frame's a little bent as well from all the bumps. So, most likely totaled. That's okay, though. Let's go ahead and hit it into the wall here at about 90 miles an hour. Oh! That was really, really, really bad. That you probably would not walk away from that one. You'd be pinned by the steering wheel. The airbag wouldn't do anything. You'd be gone. Holy smokes. That's something. That's a shorter vehicle, that's for sure. Alright, on to the third and final vehicle for this episode. Let's see how it does. Alright, and finally we have this. I can almost assure you that the full name of this will not be on the leaderboard because there's a lot of stuff in the name of this. This is the Kia Stinger 3.3T GDI AT 4-wheel drive GT line. GT line is probably, again, the car kind of model. It's a GT vehicle with a 3.3 liter engine, and it should be pretty good. It's also 4-wheel drive again, which is just it's just perfect. It's like icing on the cake. Let's go ahead and turn off the traction control and electronic stability control. We did that in the last vehicle. I don't think you saw that, though. I think I did that beforehand. So this one is more set to line up with the Subaru STI, I would imagine, with the whole 4-wheel drive, but it's also a sportier one. Not really just a grocery getter. Which, I mean, my dad has a WRX, and it's definitely not just a grocery getter, but this is more STI sort of line. We've already starved our engine of oil. We weren't leaking it. Don't know how that happened, but it did. Does look like this has a panoramic moonroof. I'm not positive on that. That looks pretty nice, though. The brake light in the back window seems absurdly large. I'm sure that is the actual vehicles thing and not just the game thing. Okay, we didn't lose that much time there. That spin out, that was good. Back of this definitely seems floaty, like it did in the last one. It's probably even a lighter vehicle than the last one, even though it has a bigger engine. I don't know. It could very well be a lighter vehicle since it's more powerful trim level, a GT level. Could be lighter, but yeah, that brake light in the back window seems abnormally large, and I am not quite sure why. If you've made it this far into the video, comment "Ayaya," because you should. Let me know that you did actually make it this far. I'm sure a few people possibly do. These videos get enough views that I hope that some people watch the whole thing through. If you didn't see that, then that's a shame. You're missing out because you just are. Because I said so. And that means that I'm right, because I'm the one making the video. So, yeah, gotta obey me. I got like 600 videos. I think I got over 600 videos. So, I'm catching up to the big leagues, and I have almost 200 subscribers. We're actually pretty close to 200, which I'm pretty excited about. So, make sure you guys subscribe, because when we get 200 subscribers, we will do a very special video. Don't know what it'll be. You think I've had almost 10 years to plan it out. I think I've been doing YouTube for 7 years. So I don't know, but we shall see. We shall find out. All right, we are getting pretty close to the end. This didn't do as bad as the last one. It's definitely a little less floaty. It could be heavier. It could be that just because the suspension's tuned differently. It could be because I'm more used to driving the vehicles that do this at this point because I drove the last one and it was kind of the same. Don't know. But we did make it to the bottom. We did a nice little spin out as well, which is interesting. So, damage report. That radiator's definitely broken. It's very bent in on the bottom. Headlights look like they are supposed to be shattered. Or that's the clouds. Nah, they're broken. Broken headlights, missing front bumper. Doors are bowed out the same way as the last one. Oh, only one is this time. Rear bumper doesn't actually look that bad. Overall. Oh, well, now the rear bumper's a little worse. Damage isn't that severe though. Is it pulling at all? Left very slightly. I think that's the same as the last one, if I do recall. Well, that was a big hit on the wall though. Now we are definitely a lot less fine. Alright, let's go ahead and run it into the wall. Can we hit it faster than 90? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 106 miles an hour. Ooh. Little bit of a 45-degree corner cut, and we would be absolutely toast. We would be dead on the spot. And just ambulance couldn't do anything. Passenger could have a chance. Rear seats probably have a decent chance. If there was someone in your trunk, they're dead because they went from 105 miles an hour to 0 pretty dang fast with no airbags or seatbelts. So I don't know. All right. On to the leaderboard for this episode. Let's see how the vehicles did. Alright, and now onto the leaderboard for this episode. So in 17th place overall, we have the Kia Stinger 3.3T GDI AT four-wheel drive GT line with a time of 3 minutes and 9.8 seconds. And by the way, the full name for both of the Kia Stingers is not on the leaderboard because it's a little bit too long to fit on there. So we abbreviated it just a little bit. Coming up next in 35th place is the Kia Stinger 2.0T all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or AT four-wheel drive Prestige with a time of 3 minutes and 18.9 seconds. And coming in 75th place, but actually tying with the vehicle in 74th place, is the Gavril Vertex NA2 American Muscle with a time of 3 minutes and 42.2 seconds. Of course, it is after the Burnside Special because I ran it after the Burnside Special. And so I have more experience with the track, and I consider that to be an advantage. So the vehicle with the advantage gets put under the vehicle that has less of an advantage. So that's how that works. However, not a bad performance today overall. Really kind of mid, actually. Just pretty mid today. And as always, let's send the last vehicle down the Stairway Mountain. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash the like button, hit the red subscribe button, and the bell icon down below to get notified of when I upload. Be sure to stay tuned because, or be sure to subscribe because we're pretty close to 200 subscribers, which is awesome. I've been doing this YouTube thing for, I think I said around 7 years. Started in 2016, I think was my first video. In 2016, it's been a long time. 7 years, yep. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are enjoying the series and the channel. And until next time, this has been Dresden, and goodbye.